Marvel fans, we need to talk about new rumors regarding Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness, why there's some conflicting reports, and why I think it may be explained by one of the coolest things from Marvel Comics coming in to the MCU. Council of REEDS? Let's go. What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerd Venture Tower. Smash a like on this video if you are super excited for Multiverse of Madness and just loving all the different rumors and crazy things that are coming out about that film. Speaking of crazy things with regards to Multiverse of Madness, the rumor mill and different leakers and insiders out there have laid it out there that it's very likely that there will be a Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness. We actually talked about this a couple of weeks back. My Time to Shine Hello made mention of the fact that Reed Richards was added to the Illuminati during the reshoots. And then we even talked about John Krasinski and the big rumors of John Krasinski coming back to this role. This was sort of hinted at by some people like KC Walsh. My Time to Shine Hello just straight up came out and said it. Yes, John Krasinski will be playing Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness. And she also clarified that it will be a variant. But then in a really interesting turn, viewer Anon, who is a very good scooper and insider out there, came out and said that they had heard a different actor was going to be playing Reed Richards in the Multiverse of Madness. And a lot of the different leaks that are out there coming out on like Reddit and 4chan seem to be hinting that the guy that played Reed from the OG Fox Fantastic Four movies, Ian Gooford, they claim that he's actually going to be Reed Richards in the Multiverse of Madness. And as I started to think about these different reports out there, these different possibilities, my mind went to something from Marvel Comics known as the Interdimensional Council of REEDS. So let me quickly TLDR what the Council of REEDS was in Marvel Comics, and then talk about the evidence for this being the way Marvel will go with Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness. So the Council of REEDS actually starts with Nathaniel Richards, who is the father of Reed Richards, and there was this weird interdimensional kind of battle royale, Squid Game, Hunger Games type of a tournament in which a lot of Nathaniel Richards all died, leaving only one remaining, and it is the father of the Reed Richards from the 616 universe. This will come back into play in just a second. So basically, three different versions of Reed Richards that actually assemble the Infinity Gauntlet and get the complete and total power of gods, formulate and found the Interdimensional Council of REEDS after learning more about the multiverse. They all come together, they establish this code, and there's a ton of different Reed Richards from across the multiverse that are all working together to solve different problems in different dimensions. They establish a base of operations that is in between different universes, giving them a place by which they can access the multiverse. And there's only one rule. The rule was no attachments, kind of like the Jedi Code. Like, they weren't allowed to have families. They had to let all of that stuff go from their particular reality and sort of commit themselves completely to the Council of REEDS. Now, our Reed Richards from 616 does help the Council of REEDS for a little bit when they're fighting Celestials and doing crazy stuff like that, but he doesn't actually join them because he actually had his father and refuses to give up on his family. So that's what makes our Reed particularly special. And again, that will come into play later, post Hickman's Secret Wars, when Reed Richards re-establishes the Council of REEDS. Basically, the TLDR is it doesn't end well for the Council of REEDS. Some of them get trapped in a weird dimensional space. They end up going crazy. They end up coming back into 616, trying to like kill all these people. They end up getting defeated. But then after Secret Wars, which essentially ends with Reed Richards getting the power of all of the Beyonders and with the help of his son recreating the multiverse, that Reed Richards then reestablishes the Council of REEDS, except he gets rid of the part where you have to denounce your family, because the whole deal was they realized that having the family actually gave 616 Reed Richards more power. That attachment was not a weakness, but actually a strength. Now, there's a couple of different things here that are important for you to know if you're not a big Marvel Comics reader. The most important thing is that Reed Richards is the smartest character in all of Marvel. Now, this slightly changes and they bring in new genius characters and stuff like this all the time, but it's pretty much a Marvel staple that Reed Richards is the smartest person in the entire universe. This is very similar to Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, and they even play off of the Council of Ricks in the Rick and Morty show. But because Reed is the most intelligent, they all gather, the Council of Reeds that is, outside of universes, between different universes, to watch over the multiverse and come up with solutions to big problems. Now let's talk about Multiverse of Madness. We know that Doctor Strange is going to be brought before some version of the Illuminati, and apparently a Reed Richards was added to that version of the Illuminati. But what's weird about this is we are hearing that this group, this Illuminati, is watching over the multiverse and may well be made up of different people from different universes, and it is also possible that they're going to bring in help to fight against Wanda from different universes. And if the place that Strange is brought to is somehow watching over the multiverse and in between different universes, it is very likely to be a similar location to what was going on with the TVA or the base of operations for the Interdimensional Council of Reeds. And if you have the Council of Reeds and a Reed Richards on that group of the Illuminati, it could explain how that Illuminati has access to different things throughout the multiverse, even if they exist in their own universe. Maybe it is the Reed Richards from that group of Illuminati that also has access to the Council of Reeds that is quietly watching over all of the multiverse. This could literally explain a lot of the confusion when we're thinking about these different leaks and rumors out there on how there can be a group of Illuminati in a singular universe where there's also another version of Wanda, and yet they also have the ability to look over the multiverse. Council of Reeds could explain that. I also just think this would be such a great way to introduce Reed Richards into the MCU, because you can still have that Reed from the old Fantastic Four movies, which I think would be really, really nice flavor, but you could have Krasinski playing Reed as well, doing that crazy fan service stuff, and even have other versions of Reed Richards pop up in this movie, really establishing to the MCU normie audience how important a character like Reed Richards is to the fabric of Marvel and the fabric of the multiverse. It would allow for the 616 version of Reed Richards to either already know about this council or get access to this council down the line, because another thing that we think will happen in Multiverse of Madness is that Illuminati will be wiped out, but then our Stephen Strange, likely inspired by that group of Illuminati, will reform his own Illuminati, mostly out of 616 or main Marvel continuity characters. And it's like this dope way to sort of foreshadow how different people on Earth, like Stephen and like a Reed Richards, could have access to areas where they will watch over the multiverse and could access points that are between universes, which could be really crucial for Secret Wars stories coming up. Because as I continue to say, the sort of dichotomy between Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom is so central to all of Marvel, but particularly important to the new Secret Wars story. I think it's one of the best parts of that story is that it kind of amounts to a big difference between Reed and Victor. That's the big ending of that story. And if you really want to do that on the silver screen, you need to quickly establish to Marvel audiences how important Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom are, and this is a great way to start down that path. So there you have it, folks. We certainly don't know for sure, and a lot of this is rumor and theory and speculation, but I think it kind of fits for where we are going with the multiverse when it comes to the MCU, and it would explain a lot of the weird things we've heard about Multiverse of Madness, including the possibility of two different actors playing Reed Richards. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section below. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to our channel and see more of our content pop up in your recommended feed. Check me out on TikTok, check out the podcast on Spotify and Apple, and check out our live streams, man. We have a ton of fun over on our streaming channel. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.